The Reggae Boys are doomed as 2 of our 3 starting midfielders have picked up injuries for their clubs.
Jamaica have a lifeline. How about this?
Big up Gunnaz. I hear that. Don't know something that Gunnaz may say, but big up Gunnaz.
Hello and welcome back to the Gunnaz podcast. I'm your host, Dicanio, an Arsenal fan that covers everything Reggae Boys and local football. If you enjoy the content that I do on this channel, remember to hit that like button. Every single video I do on this channel must get to 200 likes. So just go ahead and smash that like button. It's a very free way of supporting the channel. Also, we're on a goal to 6,000 subscribers. So if you have not yet subscribed, a lot of you guys always say in the comment section that you didn't even know that you were subscribed. So now is the time to do that. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Another free way of supporting the channel. Before I head into talking about Reggae Boys football, let's address the elephant in the room. The country was hit by Hurricane Melissa, and obviously a lot of persons in the West had a lot of destruction. It's going to take a while for the country, especially those in the West, to recover. So if you are able to donate anything, you guys can go to supportjamaica.gov.jm. That's the official website for the country if you want to make any donations, and I will put that link below in the comment section. So I'm going to be promoting this website for a bit. So if there's anyone in the diaspora or anyone who watches this content in Jamaica, if you want to support and help the government to help rebuild the country, just go ahead, hit that link. It's going to be in the description, and also I'll paste it in the comment section as well. Right? Thoughts and prayers go to those who lost loved ones due to Hurricane Melissa. A whole lot of us were impacted, whether it had to do with physical impacting or jobs. We have all been impacted in some way, and I don't think any way is greater because it's all going to affect our livelihood. So, yeah, man. For all who did make it through, thank God for life. Glad you're safe. But let's head into the video. This video is basically to talk about our midfield because, in my opinion, we are doomed. We are extremely doomed because 2 of our top performing midfielders are out and more than likely are going to miss the final 2 games, which are the most important games against the 2 toughest opposition in the group. And that is Casey Palmer and Bobby Reid. Now, this is not new news, but it is just me reacting and me really reflecting on what it's going to take for us to win those 2 games and take maximum points to make sure that we do qualify for the World Cup, because it's going to be very, very tough without Bobby Reid. Now, Bobby Reid is set to be back mid-October. He suffered a hamstring injury shortly after leaving the island and going back to Leicester. He suffered an hamstring injury it was either a game or a training session. And then just a few days after, it was Casey Palmer who picked up an even more serious injury, who was out for 10 weeks after he picked up an injury in training. Now it's going to be about 7 weeks that he has left, but that still rules him out for the remaining 2 games against Trinidad and Curacao. So now we're left to thinking, what will our midfield look like? Who will play? And obviously, we are going to have to look for replacements in that team. Now, with all that said, if we have Isaac Hayden, Casey Palmer, if we have Isaac Hayden, John Russell, and if Demarai Gray is fit, I think Demarai Gray will play in the attacking midfield role to slot in for Bobby Reid and or Casey Palmer, and John Russell will play. So that's a solid 3, but we still need a squad. We still need to replace those 2 players. And John Russell is a player that is very good for certain types of games, and he may not be the first pick for a game against, say, Curacao at home. So we are going to need a bit more control. We are going to need a player that can really come in, that has prior experience in World Cup qualifiers, and that can get us over the line. Now, there are 2 players that have been called. Obviously, there's Dan Johnson, who is currently playing in Turkey. I think he's in the 1st division now because they did get promoted last year. So, yeah, he is currently playing in Turkey. Having an okay season so far, but the most important thing is that he has experience. He's also a left-footed player, which we don't have a left-footed player in the midfield, and it's always good to have a left-footed player in any type of midfield. I just think so, personally, right? And there's also Ravel Morrison. So Ravel Morrison would be an ideal slot-in, an ideal fit for a man like Casey Palmer. They're both creative, both good on set pieces, both can get stuck in here and there. The good thing with Ravel Morrison is, as well, is that he has been in a World Cup qualifier campaign before. He knows what it's like, so he won't be, I don't think he'll feel the pressure. This is a guy that has played at the highest level. Despite the level that he's playing at now, he knows what it is to play under pressure, and he will be immune to that. I think those are the types of players that we need to go for these replacements. These aren't young players that have gotten injured and we need to replace. These are experienced players that have experience in Concacaf, and we need to replace them with experienced players that have experience in Concacaf. And based on our roster, I don't think there is any other player, any better player, or two players to come in to replace a Bobby Reid and a Casey Palmer than a Ravel Morrison and a Daniel Johnson. That's how I see it. If I have Ravel Morrison and Daniel Johnson in that midfield as options, I'm not saying they have to start, but as options alongside John Russell, alongside Isaac Hayden and Ian Frey, who can play midfield. We have Karai Anderson. We also have we have Karai Anderson. We have, I'm missing somebody. Josh Ananglin, right? Then I'm a bit more comfortable. Obviously, Ravel Morrison is going to have to come in and really hit the ground running. The good thing is that he has minutes in his legs. He has found another club in Dubai. He is familiar with the players, as he was called up last year in the Nations League. He was called up in the Unity Cup. He has always been a backup pick for Steve McClaren. But the fact is, he is familiar with this group of players. Daniel Johnson, maybe not so much, which is why Ravel Morrison was in my thumbnail, because Daniel Johnson just hasn't been in our own national setup. A lot of persons rate him, a lot of persons want to see him, but the fact of the matter is he has not been in and around the international setup for a long while. So, people, share your thoughts below in the comment section. I really want to know what you guys are thinking, because it's going to be very, very rough if we don't make the correct selections. Midfield is going to win us or lose us those two matches. And the toughest one is going to be away from home to Trinidad. We have to get points on the board there, people. Have to get points on the board there. We're currently sitting on 9 points. Curacao is sitting on 8. Curacao has to play both us and Bermuda. They're going to get 3 points from Bermuda. That's 100%. So going into the final game, Curacao is going to be on 11 points. We're going to be on either 10 or 12. Zine? So we're either going to be 1 point ahead of them or 1 point below Bermuda. Zine? Or we might even be 2 points behind them. The fact of the matter is, no matter what happens, we have to beat Curacao or go into that Curacao match, right? Like it's a must-win. Zine? Because it's possible that we could go to Trinidad and lose at Trinidad. And if that happens, it's a must-win game. It's possible that we could draw at Trinidad. And if we draw at Trinidad, it's still a must-win game because we have to win, because we will be 1 point behind them. The only thing that would not make it a must-win is if we beat Trinidad at home, and we know how difficult that is going to be, right? So it's 2 out of 3 chance that Jamaica is going to be in a must-win match against Curacao at home. And if we don't sort out this midfield, we're in trouble. We know the attack can hold them on once the midfield is steady and the midfield is creating and a threatening ball. We know we can create chances, right? And if the team in the right vibe, we will take those chances. See? But if we don't have the right vibe, if we don't have the right midfield, we don't have the right balance, we are going to see problems. So again, people, Share your thoughts below in the comment section. Let me know who you want to see as our midfield 6. Again, especially with Casey Palmer out, I believe Demarai Gray will start in the 10 because that's what we have seen. Steve McClaren is in a phase now that he's not going to bench Cephas and he's not going to bench Demarai Gray, which means that Demarai Gray starts in the camp once he's fit. So who do you want to see as a midfield 3 and who do you want to see as the squad for the midfield 6? Because the squad is also going to be very important. You never know, somebody can get a red card, somebody can get a yellow card, a man can get injured, suspensions, stuff like that. So who do you want to see at the core or 6 in midfield? Let me know in the comment section, folks. Also, again, finally, if you want to support the country, whether you're in the diaspora or you're in Jamaica, once you can afford to do it, go online to support jamaica.gov.jm. That is the only valid website. So don't get tricked by nobody out there where I try scam you. And I will place it below in the comment section if you want to support the country and help the country rebuild, especially those in the West. So yeah, folks, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Jamaica have a lifeline. How about this?
Big up Gunnaz, I hear that. Don't know some of the Gunnaz myself, but big up Gunnaz.